Hello everybody, in today's video we're going to touch on a ton of different things related to the contracts that are going to be coming to Black Ops 4. I went ahead and made a video a couple weeks ago. I was saying watch before opening, and I think after these contracts come into play, I was saying wait for them. I told people to hold off on actually opening their weapon bribes, at least to find out what these contracts are going to look like. Contracts look pretty good from what we've seen so far, and once they actually launch, we'll go ahead and kind of see how that plays through. I'm going to read through that information. If you haven't already seen it, we'll go ahead and talk a little bit about how that stuff's going to work out starting on Tuesday the 25th for all platforms. So it's going to be for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. I'm also going to touch on why you should probably still hold off on actually opening these bribes, even though they're going to be adding in new bribes. The date that we're going to be paying attention to, at least for PlayStation, is going to be July 8th, because that is the last day of our current event, and July 16th for Xbox and PC. And I'm going to touch on those a little bit more. But if you guys do enjoy the content and find it helpful in any way, please remember to hit that like button. And if you're brand new around here, make sure you hit that red subscribe button, turning it to gray with notifications on. We did hit 85,000 subscribers over the past weekend. Hopefully we're getting a little bit closer to that 100K. Thank you guys all for the support. Now let's go ahead and get into a few different examples as we read through what they posted on Charlie Intel. So one thing I did want to point out about these specific weapon bribes, it says guaranteed no dupe ranged or MK2 weapon from reserves. The MK2 weapon issue where it's not able to level it if you didn't have the base model should be fixed Tuesday as well with this specific update. So I'm expecting a few other things, weapon balancing that they're going to do, but we'll go ahead and talk specifically about the contracts and the weapon bribe. So the thing is, if you held on to this, what will happen is, if you're going to open it, you're going to get one of the MK2 weapons. Obviously, if you don't have all the MK2 weapons, odds are you're going to probably get one of those. I know there's people who said they opened up the bribe and they didn't get anything except for the brand new weapons and they completely lucked out. But that's kind of a smaller percentage. I think a majority of people who opened this bribe and didn't have all the MK2 variants got MK2 variants. Some people got MK2 Rampart, Swats, whatever the case is, they got something that was less desirable than one of the brand new weapons, like the Peacekeeper, the Stingray, the Ballistic Knife, or the Locust. So if you're looking to get one of the brand new weapons, I would hold out until the end of this event, and I'm going to go ahead and explain why throughout the video. So it says right here, Call of Duty June 21st update, double XP. They were just talking about the weekend, but the thing that really needs to pay attention to right here is our next major update is coming on June 25th. So this should be like the 1.19 update. It's going to include the launch of contracts on all platforms, kicking off with a rotating selection of up to 28 contracts to complete each day. And that's across all modes. And that's going to be up to 196 contracts per week. And I'm sure you guys have seen other people put this video out, but I'm going to go ahead and put a different spin on it. If you haven't heard about this information, cool. If you have, go ahead and stick with me. I'm going to go ahead and talk about a few key points that I think people are missing. Our newest alternative lighting map is going to be in Hacienda Twilight. So that's going to be added this week. More maps added to Prop Hunt and Capture the Flag, so you're going to have a little bit more variety there. And that's probably including the DLC maps as well, since I don't think the DLC maps were really included with Capture the Flag. New medals, equipment, and humiliations in Blackout, so just more challenges. Then they're going to go ahead and introduce a hard mode gauntlets in zombies, which should be good for anyone trying to do zombies challenges. And then weapon tuning. And when they say weapon tuning, if the weapon's good, it's going to get nerfed. If the weapon sucks, it's going to get buffed. And that's pretty much how weapon tuning works, right? So Daemon, we know that weapon's really strong, overpowered. So right there, nerf. Switchblade, nerf. Mog 12, we know it's strong, probably getting a nerf. And then it says plus more. They would have included weapons that were a little bit on the weaker end. In my opinion, the GKS, MX9, we know they'd be receiving a buff. So that's kind of how that works. And then it says, in case you missed it, head over to our contract blog for all the info, how contracts work. So we're going to focus on that part, contracts blog. As well as intel on the new ultra weapon bribe that we'll be introducing the following week as a part of the new special event. So we're going to have another mini event like they had with the Barbarians event a few months back, where they gave us the Cap 45. But instead of a weapon at the end of like 8 to 12 tiers or however many it was, I don't know, I think it was 15 tiers. At the end of those tiers, we're going to get an ultra weapon bribe that's going to be specific for DLC weapons. And we'll have to look at the verbiage as soon as it drops on Tuesday to see if it includes Mastercraft or MK2 variants, and we'll see if there's anything related to that. So obviously they're going to go ahead and fix some bugs and other stuff like that. But let's go ahead and get into the other example. So let's go ahead and go to that contracts blog. So we got this, earn more rewards in all modes. And right here, if we look at this, it says Heist Challenger. Play and complete 5 games of Heist. So you don't got to win. You just got to queue into them. If they end abruptly, cool. If they go all the full rounds, whatever the case is, you just got to play 5 matches. And you're rewarded with a meaningless amount of XP, but you will go ahead and get a reserve. So 5 matches will probably take you like 45 minutes to an hour. What'll end up happening is you'll get a reserve through tier progression or just the regular reserve progression, but then you're going to get another reserve there. And then you'll go ahead and be able to grab a new contract because, again, we saw that there's a bunch of them. 28. I'm not sure exactly how that works out. Then right here, 5 multi-kills as a result of using a specialist weapon. So it's going to be like the Grav Slam, the Tempest, whatever it is, you just need 2 kills or more. That's a multi-kill. 5 kills with airborne streaks. It shows the lightning strike, but you could use tac chopper, you could use sniper's nest, whatever it is, airborne streaks. And then right here it says contracts will be available complete at any given time. Up to 3 contracts can be active at once. So you could either get rid of the contract you picked up and just to like say, hey, I don't want it anymore, or you can go ahead and once it's done, then you go ahead and select another one until you've gone through approximately 9 challenges per mode. So that's, again, if you want to maximize this, you're going to play multiplayer, blackout, and zombies, which is why this should have been in the game, because then it encourages more people to diversify and play the other modes. They will refresh every 24 hours. Players must complete their daily contract in each mode before the refresh. So basically, if you have the contract and you run out of time, you're just going to be supplied with new contracts, and any progress you have on that time will be erased. So right here, if it was 3 out of 5 and then I had to put the game down, I couldn't play anymore, next day I come in, this contract is going to be expired. Standard versus hard contracts. Player will be able to activate 2 types. So there's going to be obviously hard, and then we're going to have some easier ones on the daily contracts. And then obviously the harder ones, it will reward more things. So contract earnings, you're going to get bonus XP in multiplayer, zombies, or World League. So that's bonus. And then we got reserve cases, 1 or more based on the challenge required. So if they're easy, you're only going to get 1. If they're harder, you're going to get 2. You're going to get bonus nebula plasma in zombies, and then bonus merits in blackout. So pretty much the only thing that I think most of us care about, unless you're on that level 1000 grind for any of those modes, is to get these reserve cases, because that's where you're going to get weapons, cosmetics, and just a variety of things that have been added into the game. There's about 1200 items that you can unlock through reserves, and until you get those reserves, you're not going to have all those items. So this is in addition to the tier skips that we get, plus the reserve earn rate. So right now, if you're above tier 50, you are getting a reserve every hour approximately of game time, and then also another one based off the reserve earn rate, because obviously that's how your reserve earn rates work. Zombies rewards. They used to have these daily callings. They're going to be removing that and replacing them with contracts. So now we're going to have another way to earn stuff in game, which you can see here is pretty straightforward. Play 20 rounds. If you're good at zombies, you can do that in 1 match. Even if you're not that great at zombies, you can do that. And you're going to get a bonus tier skip on top of the daily tier skip. So that's like a double tier skip if you get lucky enough to get that specific challenge. But if I wanted the reserves, I could actually play that really quick, and I'll probably touch zombies. I actually have 0 time on zombies, so that'll be able to clear that up. So right here, in addition to the contracts, we're making changes to how weapon bribes will work in the future that we talked about for a specific ranged weapon or an MK2 variant, and that does not include the Mastercraft variants, because that does not list it there, and you should not get a Mastercraft variant unless it's for like the SG-12, which also comes with an MK2 variant at the same time. It's one of the rarer cases. I know a lot of people wrote to me saying, hey, what about the Mozu? It has an MK2. The Mozu doesn't have an MK2. It has the Mastercraft, but it does not have a MK2 variant or Mark II variant. We're planning to introduce a new event, which we're kind of talked about during the Operation Spectre Rising, because even though it's Days of Summer, it's still the Spectre Rising event. And it's going to be ultra weapon bribe through the contraband. Players can expect to earn additional weapon bribes in the future. So basically, for any new event that they add, they'll probably add an additional weapon bribe, which will give us opportunity to grind out and earn those tiers and eventually open it and get pretty much all the DLC weapons in the game. Not the best system, but much better than our current system, which basically says good luck, and your odds are you're not going to go ahead and get it. So now we've gone ahead and talked about that. The thing I wanted to focus on now is the part that I think people had a lot of confusion with. So now we can go ahead and look at our created class. So right here, we can go ahead and see that the created class, they have these little bubbles, right? There's 3 little bubbles. I want to clarify this part because there was some confusion. The first little bubble right here is the default weapon. And then when you click on the weapon, you have a couple others. So if I just click the ICR, I could hold R2. That's an MK2 variant, which used to be a not called an MK2 variant. It was just another name. And then right here we have the Mastercraft variant. The Mastercrafts are not the same as Mark II variants. They're just alternative camos that can't have another camo equipped. So if I click on that one and then I go and try and put a camo on it, it doesn't even let you put camos anymore. You just got death effects and accessories. That's it. But if I go to a Mark II, I can actually equip a camo. Those are a big difference there. The other part is the Mark IIs will give you that additional XP. Even though I'm going to go ahead and put the list in the description if you want to check that out. But the way that it works, to clarify, is that this, you can see how it's acquired. So when you look it through the list, you're going to see which ones are acquired and how. This one says Operation First Strike, or this was purchasable in the black market as a bundle. Same thing with the GKS and the Titan. Those were bundles. Same thing with the Maddox. It was a bundle, also a pre-order type of order deal. And then we also had the same thing with the MX9. So when you go through this, Rampart does have an MK2, and when you click on it, it says specifically reserves. The unfortunate part, if you don't have the weapon, there's not going to be a blank spot there that says in reserves. But I have every reserve MK2 or Mark II variant, so this is how I know which ones are in which and which ones aren't. That's pretty much why I wanted to focus on. So what you're going to do is run through the list, and you're going to see what you have, so you can at least make an educated decision on what your odds are of getting a specific weapon bribe. So you're going to go ahead and go through your checklist and see, okay, cool, I have a good amount of them. But what happens is brand new content gets added on PlayStation on July 9th and on Xbox and PC on July 16th. So what you're going to want to do is the day before the new event goes live, you're going to make sure you open all your reserves, open everything that you can, and then make the decision yourself. It's on you. I would highly recommend opening it, but if you want to hold off and wait for something else, maybe they're going to add new stuff, that's going to go ahead and kind of throw off the pool a little bit. If they add new MK2s and new DLC weapons, it's going to make it harder for you to get certain DLC weapons that are available right now, or certain MK2 weapons that are available right now. So once you've kind of gone through that checklist, make a decision what makes sense for you, and then you're going to pretty much go about it and decide, okay, I'm going to open it, and my odds are I'm going to get one of those two weapons. So it gives you the best chance to open up all those reserves and then clear out the inventory of the stuff that maybe you don't want in your bribe. I would open the bribe on the last possible moment that you've already given the opportunity to get all those reserves open. That's pretty much how that works. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please remember to hit that like button. If you're brand new around here, make sure you do subscribe with notifications on. I do appreciate all the support on the channel. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers, which is just insane to me. Thank you guys for watching. As always, have a great day.